There's a need for easy solutions. We must push forward. We're living in an intense, vibrant period of history, and it's becoming increasingly urgent to plan our country's future. It will take creativity, flexibility, and technological innovation. We need speed and expertise to manage this change. At this moment, Milan's reputation is at an all-time high. Politecnico is an attractive, large, open laboratory in the heart of Milan, featuring the innovative study programs needed to prepare for new professions and to face new challenges. The research and experimentation of today will illuminate tomorrow. We need creativity and intuition. This is a great opportunity. The challenges that lie before us are tough. Now's the time to take our destiny into our own hands, to seize the day, to pioneer the change. We must stay switched on. There's a need for transformation that cannot be overlooked.
Okay, welcome everybody to this webinar that you joined in today to hear more about the programs from Politecnico di Milano, especially in the Masters in Design, Architecture or Engineering. And yeah, we'd like to hear, of course, from you, first of all, where you're logging in from. So by all means, go ahead and do that, as I already see many people join today. So welcome everybody. My name is Luc Mulling. I'm the moderator of today. And besides telling us where you're logging in from, I'd just like to explain to you some of the interactive options we have as well. You can also write any questions you have through the panel called Questions at the right bottom. There we will take care of the questions at the end of the session. And for people that are watching the recording, if you do, you can still write your questions as well and also interact also, for example, in the pollings. And I just open up a small polling as well already. So we like to know you, get to know you a little bit better and about your background. Besides that, we also have a fun button, so to say. At the bottom of the screen, you see a button called React. And if you hear something, well, for example, something you like, you can let us know that's the one. Yeah, so let us know your reactions, just to make it a bit more fun for the presenters as well and to interact with them. And yeah, without further ado, let's go over to the presenters, as we have two presenters today lined up for you. First of all, the international marketing and recruitment person, and also a student from the current program in design. And they will introduce themselves. So over to you, Chiara.
Thank you, Luke, and welcome everyone. I'm really glad to be here with you today. We don't see you, but we really appreciate your reactions if you hear something you like. I work at Politecnico di Milano, and I will be presenting you the programs we have, the application procedures, and everything related to the opportunities offered by this great university. But overall, we have Alessandra with us today, who's a current student, so she will explain in the best possible way how it is to be a student at Politecnico di Milano. So welcome, Alessandra. Thank you for being with me today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much.
Alessandra will have several minutes to talk about her experience here, and that's I think the most interesting part of today's event. We present the university today as today's event is like a first step toward the journey. We hope your journey at Politecnico di Milano, the university we call friendly Polimi, where you can study architecture, design, and engineering. So welcome on board, and we hope this journey is enjoyable for you as it is for us. And so welcome to Milan, because of course you're talking from here, from this amazing international, chaotic, but overall really interesting city, which is located in the north of Italy, as you can see here. Super well connected with different locations, with other countries in Europe. It has 3 airports, very important train stations which connect different capitals of Europe, and also very nice spots in Italy. You can really travel and enjoy your time here as an international student, thanks to the location of the city. And even by staying in the city itself, it's an experience, because of course it's a really dynamic city full of events. So it's really something week every week. So the book week, the museum week, the fashion week, the design week, and so on. So it's definitely not possible to get bored in Milan, thanks also to the cultural offer and to the fact that it's economic hub of Italy, and it also hosts several universities. So it's a quite young city to study in. So this is a very great place to have the base of the university, and I think Alessandra might add a lot to this and comment more about her experience. So I leave the floor to you, Ale. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Chiara. So, hello, everybody. I'm Alessandra, and I'm a student of Polimi. I'm a student of Polimi since 2019, actually, because right now I'm doing my bachelor program, but my master program, but I also did my bachelor program here in Polimi. So I started as a project designer, and then in my master degree, I chose to become a product service system designer. But Polimi also gave me the opportunity to follow another degree. So I'm a double degree student, and I'm also doing management engineering. So the reason why I choose Polimi in the first place, so when from high school I decided to start to study at the university, it was mainly because Polimi, it's kind of a big name, and it's very, very well known, not only here in Italy, but also abroad, and also well known from firms. So I thought that would be a great opportunity for me. But after my bachelor program, I choose Polimi once again. And this was because I understood that Polimi, it really is an environment that is open and attentive to innovation. And innovation is something that I really want to be part of, both in terms of sustainability, inclusivity, but also digital innovation. So I was really into this part, and I think that Polimi grabs all of those opportunities, these different things, and I thought it could be the perfect fit for me to grow both as a person, but also as a professional. So the reason why I like Polimi is because it's such an open and stimulating environment, and also will give you with a lot of opportunities, both in terms of your career path, but also in terms of external opportunities, as I will explain you later. So, of course, studying here in Milan also means living in Milan. And I would love to spend some words about my personal experience as a citizen of Milan, let's say it like that. So, I moved in Milan in 2019, as I explained you before. And before I came from a very little town. So for me, it was quite of a big change for me. And after a while, I got used to it, and I really loved it because Milan is a city where really you can be whoever you want. I mean, at least that was for me. And also, it really is a city that never sleeps. And not just talking about, night events, parties, and all this kind of stuff that, of course, are there, but also about cultural events. For example, as Chiara was saying before, we have a week basically for everything. So I'm not the right person to ask about Fashion Week, maybe, but I can tell you something about Design Week. That is, of course, my favorite week to be in Milan. Because Milan becomes, a open showroom, so you can just walk with your friends across some areas of the city, and really there are exhibitions that are really incredible, coming from the most known designers in the world, but not only, also more emergent ones dealing with innovation and not only with, classical design style. So it really is great for me, and a lot of stuff are also for free. So it really is open, and I really love to be here in in Milan when Design Week happens. But of course, if you live in Milan, you will also have the possibility to travel along Europe because it's really well connected. But the very interesting thing for me, for you, could be to visit Italy, because one of the most fascinating things about Italy, in my opinion, is that it's plenty, of different places, but you don't have to move a lot. So you don't have to do a lot of kilometers to find you in a completely different country, really. I'm not just talking about the places, but also the buildings are different. The food is different, and sometimes also the language is different. For example, if I go, I don't know, in Sicily, in the south of Italy, and I have to talk with I don't know, a grandma, I'm 90% sure that I will not understand nothing, because we also have different dialects. And I think that this is kind of crazy, but really fascinating, because you will have the opportunity to see a lot of different things, a lot of different cultures, different traditions. And I think this really is the key treasure of Italy, in my opinion. But now I would love also to talk to you about my experience in Polimi. So as I told you, my experience here is quite long, and so I decided to put a picture of me and my friends the day of our degree, of our graduation, sorry. And so those were all my friends, and we were in the same course of product design. And what is very interesting for me is that, every one of us decided to do a different path, and most of us are still in Polimi, but really we choose very different path. And I think that this is something really interesting, because they gave us the opportunity to, discover more part about what being a designer means. And for example, I love the one of talking with customer, understand their needs, provide them with the ad hoc solution. So I decided to do service design, because I think that was a great fit for me. So I also, the hard skills shifted a little. So I'm from prototyping, with things, and we have labs for that. There are plenty of that. I shifted to develop, for example, games, cards, co-design tools to work with the customer. So, for example, if you will decide to do service design, you will also have the opportunity to really meet the customer, design with him, and it will be very an interesting opportunity. At the same time, we have other typologies of labs. For example, the most digital ones will provide you with cameras, this kind of stuff, also to create kind of immersive experiences. Besides that, I'd also would love to talk to you about the opportunity that Polimi gave me, just to name a few of them. For example, I was able to candidate for the ADI Design Index. That just a brief introduction to ADI is a really important museum here in Milan for design, well known also all over the world. And so with Polimi, with the project that I did there, I was able to candidate myself and to win a police certification and to be published in the Ad Design Index. But not only, during another of my labs, professors were able to collaborate with the ADI Museum. And so all the students of my class was given the opportunity to exhibit our projects inside a room of ADI Museum. And I think this really was a great opportunity. Also, we have like television came there and started to recording. So it really was a great opportunity. Another opportunity that Polimi gave me, it was, as I told you before, to start with a double degree program. So studying in service design, I discovered that I really loved also the part of how to manage the service. And so I started also another master degree in management engineering. And I think that this really is a great opportunity. I'm so glad to have taken part of. So this in few words was my experience. Thank you so much for listening to me. And of course, if you have questions at the end, I will be happy to answer to you.
Thanks, Alessandra. And yeah, Alessandra is not leaving, so she will be with us all the time. And as you can see, she's enjoying her journey a lot. And also she's taking advantage of what the university is offering to her. So that's the main thing to consider when you select a university, when you decide to take this big step to go abroad for your master program or PhD program. Well, you just go somewhere else, take the challenge, accept it, and make the most of it. So it's really depending on a lot on you. We have a lot of students coming from abroad, and a lot of students are really enthusiastic about their experience, and they can definitely share it with you. You can also talk to them online to know more. I will present this opportunity in a while. We were talking a lot about Milan because, of course, the university was established in Milan, and it has 2 campuses here in the city, which are offering programs in different areas, architecture, design, and engineering. But the university is also located and has campuses on other smaller cities, which are not far from Milan, like Lecco, Cremona, Mantova, and Piacenza. So each time, if you're interested in a specific program, just make sure you see and check where it is offered. The reason why we offer a certain program on a specific campus is always related to something specific, like, for example, the territory. If we have, for example, a program in music and acoustic engineering, which is offered partially in Milan and partially in Cremona, which is a very well-known city for the instruments. We have a program of architecture in Mantova focusing on preservation of cultural heritage for its importance as an UNESCO site. Piacenza, also some programs related to landscape and to sustainability, because it is located in the country, in countryside, or in a different area instead of Milan. Lecco has a program in civil engineering for risk mitigation, also thanks to the location it has close to the mountains by the lake. So it's always there's always a reason behind these choices, and the offer of programs is really wide. So when you consider studying at Politecnico di Milano, it's also possible to study in a smaller city, which is something some students might want to do, because, as Alessandra was saying, I mean, you come from a smaller town, you like the experience of being in Milan, but at the same time it was challenging. Some other people might have a different approach and might want to stay in smaller cities, and that's also an opportunity, a possibility for you. Also because Milan is not far, so when you want to take advantage of the something week or have a fun night out or anything like that, you can definitely come to Milan very easily and quickly. So Alessandra was talking a lot about design, of course, because that's her main area of studies, but she mentioned engineering as well. So as you understand, we have a very multidisciplinary approach to teaching and learning, and I guess Alessandra can confirm that. Yeah. So designing, like the double degree, of course, is offering this opportunity, but in the programs, in all the programs, basically this approach is a key factor. And that's also thanks to the fact that research is a very important mission. So we are always innovative. So as a university, professors are innovative and like they're working on new trends and they really know what's happening in the field they are experts of, and that thanks to that we do research, high quality research, and we are the first Italian university for projects funded by the European Commission also for this reason. That to say that you might not do research during your master like in pure terms, but you will be in environments of professors and researchers who are currently and every day involved in doing that, in innovation, basically. So you breathe this kind of atmosphere, which is possible also thanks to the labs we have on campus. So, of course, Alessandra, you may mention something about the laboratories of design, but in general, so I will leave the floor to you for that. But in general, I want you guys to know that we have more than 200 labs on campus, which are on, of course, in the different areas of studies, and 6 of these are large infrastructures, which are also used by the companies we have partnership with, because they're really useful for the tests and the innovation in their field. So Alessandra, if you want to add anything about the labs, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have different labs, and I mean, from my experience, we have a lab where you can, prototype physical things. You have machines for cutting wood, for example, modeling plastic, also something about metals, and but also you will have laboratories such as photography ones, sewing ones for the moda courses, and I mean you will use it. So it's not just something that we have there, but you're going to work a lot inside it. And I think this is really a great opportunity. They are well done, well followed from the staff. It's really great.
Yeah, and of course, like we're talking about design, which is very practical. Like from since the beginning, the majority of our programs they really require students to be in the labs to work on their prototypes or anyway to do design products. While other programs, which are maybe on engineering, less involved in the lab work. But anyway, again, the labs are available, and you always are in contact with people who are involved in that. And also, well, when you consider to go abroad, you definitely wish to have an international experience in like from many points of view. So it's not like you go abroad, you will go to a different country where you don't know the language probably, and you don't know the system, and so it's already a challenge and an advantage. Of course, it's like it pays back after the first difficulties of in the first months. But it's also here at Politecnico, it can be an international experience also because there is an international community. So students coming from more than 100 countries are enrolled at Politecnico di Milano. We're talking about more than 8,000 international students who chose to study here. The majority of them are enrolled at postgraduate level, meaning at master programs, and there are a lot also in PhD, even if of course the position for PhD students are less, and some are also enrolled at undergrad level overall in the English taught program. So when you come here, it's not only you go to Italy, you know Italian people, these kind of things, but you also have the opportunity to be in contact with people really from all over the world. And Alessandra, you're nodding a lot, so I guess you can confirm this is what's happening on campus in the class.
Yes, 100%. It's really a multicultural environment, especially in the master degree programs. So you will not work only with Italians. It's really well balanced. So you will have the opportunity to know different cultures, different people, and I think this really is a great opportunity.
Yeah, it is academically speaking, but also because you can have a lot of fun by organizing dinners together and you go visit the people you meet here. So it's a really it might be a very great opportunity also from this point of view. And of course we have some visiting professors, people from abroad that come and teach here. So we are really a well-known university. Definitely, I think the majority of students consider the rankings when they apply to a university abroad. So this is what we're talking about. Really a very good university, high quality education and research, thanks to which we are the first Italian university. And as you can see here, among the best 20 university in the field we teach and research in architecture, design, and engineering. This is also thanks, and it's also a reason why we are part of important networks like the ones you see here on screen, which give the opportunity to go abroad also for exchange programs and to have double degrees with other universities and similar experiences. And this is also a source of innovation because we always compare ourselves to the best universities abroad, and it makes us try to be the best ourselves. So it's I think it's a very demanding university, challenging, because it's not easy to study at Politecnico di Milano. The work required to students is a lot. But thanks to that, also the level you get as a graduate of Politecnico di Milano is really high and good, and again pays back. The efforts is rewarded. And this is valid for all the levels we teach and we have here on campus, so bachelor, master, and PhD. At bachelor level, we have, in fact, we will have 3 programs in English, but for master and PhD, basically, everything is in English. So you don't have to worry to know Italian before coming here. The important thing is that you know English, of course, and you are ready to learn some Italian, because that's also going to be a requirement to get some knowledge of Italian before graduation, but I will explain that better in a while. And talking about the programs we do offer, well, again, these are the areas. They include a lot of things because, of course, we have to give some labels, so engineering, architects, and design. But in fact, as we were saying, the connections are a lot. So in each program, you have also subjects from other areas, so it might be very interdisciplinary. This is a very overview of the programs we teach in engineering. On the website, of course, you will find all the programs and the content. I might also send it here in the chat so you have it, like a link to the programs we offer at Politecnico di Milano. Then the architecture and design programs. All of these programs are in English, so you don't have to worry about knowing Italian, and they last 2 years. to enter this program, some of them you need to have a background in the field. So for others, you might have a slightly different background, but professional experience. So just make sure you find information on the website, and then of course you can ask here. Since you are here, you can take the advantage to ask. About the application, well, it's quite easy and straightforward. It's an online application which allows you to select 2 programs of interest, and once you upload them and upload the documents and submit your application fee, the Commission of Professors will evaluate your profile. The application is 100% online. You don't have to send anything by post or here, and it is quite, I would say, easy to fill out. Basically, you need to upload some mandatory documents, which are the ones you see in the blue box here, and some optional documents you may add if you want. What's important for architects and designers is to upload the portfolio, because that's a very important requirement. The professors will evaluate your profile in basically mainly on the portfolio you provide, but also the transcript, bachelor diploma, CGPA statement, CV are considered. They are really important, and they must be uploaded upon application. You have a little bit more time to upload the English language certificate, because you might not have it with you already, but you will give a different deadline for that. At the moment, the application is open for European students. So if you're European, you're equivalent student, meaning like from Norway, Switzerland, for example, you can apply now until May the 16th to enter September 2024. In case you are non-European students, I saw some people from North Macedonia, someone from Kazakhstan, if I'm not wrong, and some other not yet European countries. But you can apply for February intake if you want to enter engineering programs, or you will have the chance to apply for September 2025 from September of this year. So anyway, on the website, of course, you will find the deadlines. But for European students who already want to start their journey at Politecnico di Milano, well, make sure you apply before May the 16th. The cost of the programs depend on where you come from. So European students pay according to their family income, minimum 900 to maximum 3,900 euros per year. This is about master programs, while non-European students pay 3,900 euros per year, and again, the program lasts 2 years. There are scholarship opportunities, so I think I already saw some questions about scholarships, and these are valid only for master programs offered by Politecnico di Milano, not for bachelor. These are not for specializing master similar. This is just for merit-based, for master programs offered by Politecnico di Milano, which last 2 years, and they cover the tuition fees, or might even offer you some pocket money. In addition, of course, the government of Italy offers scholarships. Some of your local governments might offer the opportunity to fund some funding opportunities for going abroad and studying. So you can definitely find more about that. If you don't get a scholarship, or even if you do get a scholarship and you want to earn some money to support your studies, to support your living costs, well, you can apply to the paid collaboration. So we consider students to be resources of the university in many different ways. So definitely they will be our designers, engineers, and architects of the future. But at the time being, they all still are resources. So we take advantage of their experience, of their knowledge, and they can collaborate with the offices to to work with us. And so it's something that Alessandra is currently doing, like many other students. And it's a collaboration which is paid by the university, and it helps covering some expenses. About the expenses, well, I just give you here an idea of what happens and how much it costs to be here, to live here, and so on. But consider the important thing to know is that you have to come with some savings. That's important, because even if you have a scholarship, you still will have some expenses to cover since the beginning, and so that's a very important aspect to consider. Then, of course, just have an idea of what is the living costs here, and make sure if you want to apply to the merit-based scholarships. So we were saying Milan is a very welcoming, and it's a really great place to be. It is not so cheap, but it's manageable. So you will have the opportunity to live with other students, to stay in our residences. So just consider to be aware of everything, all the packets. And also the important thing to know is that you have a lot of discounts. So as Alessandra was saying, for example, we have a lot of cooperation with companies, and we are part of the design week, we are part of the fashion week. So Politecnico di Milan is really involved in a lot of events taking place in Milan and on the other campuses. So students get discounts, they get free entrances to the events and conferences and stuff like that. So it's also a very important aspect to consider. We were talking a little bit about Italian language before, because it's not an entry requirement for you guys. You don't have to know Italian when you arrive, but we ask you to learn a little bit of Italian before graduating, and that's for the reason you see here, basically to integrate the best way possible, of course, because you will be living 2 or 3 years in Italy, and it definitely makes it easier to make friends if you know the language, to visit new places, because as Alessandra was saying, there are a lot of dialects here, there are a lot of small villages to be visited, to enjoy, because they are so beautiful, but maybe in those places English is not so well spoken. So if you know some Italian, you might interact with that maybe old woman in a small village in Italy. That's really important to make the most of your experience in the country. Of course, to learn more about Italian culture and to find a good job, because you might fall in love with Italy and you might want to stay here after you graduate. And I think that's something that usually happens. And if you know Italian, it's definitely easier for you to find a job. Even if in many companies, English is the working language, but still many people are Italian. So course, since we're in Italy, and it makes it easier to interact and to be a better professional. The courses are for free on campus, so sometimes even online. So it's definitely possible to do that without much effort. And yeah, but basically you can also learn other languages, because we do offer courses of like Chinese, Portuguese, Japanese, Spanish, and German, and so on. So very different languages which are available for students. Sorry, to learn as much as you can while you are a student of Politecnico di Milano. And we try also to organize the services and offer services to the students while they are here on campus since the beginning. So when you arrive, you will have a welcome week organized for you, to know other people, to understand how it works to be a student, the academic year, the study plan, and so on, all the bureaucratical parts, but also the fun parts. You will have the opportunity to know the associations which are here on campus, be part of international competitions, which is super interesting, of students like working on very important projects, winning awards. So everything will be presented during the welcome week, and you will also, of course, have the opportunity to join them. And then, yeah, basically everything here. We try to make it possible for you to take part of this, to take advantage of the services, but students themselves are really active in this part. In this. So Alessandro, I think you can, I mean, on campus, on Bovisa campus, I know there are so many things going on thanks to the students' ideas and activity.
Yes, it is. We're plenty of them. I don't know, like there are a lot of associations also, like JAMP, or also about parties. We organize party all together in the campus. It really is a vibrant environment.
Yeah, it's true. It's true also because we try, like, if you have a passion, you can carry it on here at Politecnico di Milano. So if it's sport, if it's music, if it's theater, basically there are associations of different students and on the areas. And of course, you can be an innovator, meaning that you can be part of associations which are active in the sector. So of engineers, of designers or architects also. So it's really diverse and interesting. And we, as we were saying, we consider the time at Politecnico di Milano as a journey, I would say, which starts maybe today for you guys if you decide to apply, and takes you until the end of your experience here towards your career. And that's thanks to the career service we have here on campus, which is an office in charge of basically being in connection with the companies. They provide career guidance to the students. They organize job fairs and career days, and like the ones you see here on the screen. So per sector, so it's not only dedicated to engineers, because many students consider that the career service is only for engineering students, but no, there are different workshops dedicated to the students from different areas. It's possible to apply to job opportunities and internship opportunities through the website of the career service once you are a student of Politecnico di Milano, and even meet with representatives of the companies here on campus. So this is just to say that first, there is a strong connection with the partner companies. Second, you're not alone in looking for a job after graduation. And this is the result. So here you see that, the 91% of international students, master graduates, find a job within 6 months from graduation and in the field. And of these, 42% is already employed before graduation. And I think one of the data I like the most is what you see here in red orange. So 91% of the students think that university prepared them well for their job. So this is a very important thing. So it's not like theory and that's it. It's not like we want to be far away from the reality and from the concrete world. No, the other way around is the aim of the mission of the university, to prepare the minds of the future, and it seems it's working somehow. And this is valid also for PhD programs, because of course some students want to enter the job market directly. Some others might be interested in going on with research, and that's possible here at Polimi by studying a PhD in English, of course, of 3 years, and to go on with academic career, or to enter the job market, because the PhD students, the graduates of PhD programs, are not only working in the universities, but also in the private sector, for the reason we mentioned before, collect connection and links with the companies and the job market. So of course the employability rate is really high. The PhD at Politecnico di Milano is free of charge. and you might get a scholarship of up to 1,500 euros per month. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what's happening at Politecnico di Milano. If you want to know more, if you want to have the opportunity to talk to current students of the university, of course you have Alessandra here with us now, so you can ask as many questions as you want to her, but also you can go online and contact the different students from different programs. So we have an ambassador for each program, and they are more than available for talking to you and describe and answer your doubts and questions, of course. Well, I think that's, and Alessandra is one of them, so you will find her also on on the website if you want to interact more with her. This service is it's really appreciated by the students, the prospective students, according to what they say, and I think it's enjoyable also for the current students, if I'm not wrong, Alessandra. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention, and if you have something to add, Alessandra, please go on, otherwise we go on with the questions from the students.
No, I think you were pretty clear with everything, but if you have a question, feel free to ask. I will be glad to answer to you.
Okay, well, let's go over to the questions. So we did already receive some questions from the audience, so we'll read them out. A couple of things. First of all, I saw some people wondered if it was recorded. So yes, it is. That first of all. And you can, if you missed a part, you maybe join late, you can just stay on and it will restart. You can watch the beginning. And also for people that watch the recording, you can still also write questions and participate in the polling as well. And for those people that already answered the polling, thank you very much for your feedback. And otherwise, please do let us know a bit about your background and your status, so to say. Let's go over to the questions, however. So we received a question from Yahor. Is it possible to get a merit-based scholarship for international students for the Polyme GSOM, the Graduate School of Management, I know, programs?
Okay, well, the GSOM programs are specialized in master's or MBA programs, so they're not the ones we were talking about today. So no, the scholarship I mentioned are not valid for those programs.
Yeah, just to be clear, so that's a separate, well, faculty or department, so to say.
Yes. It's basically the business school of Politecnico di Milano.
Yeah, exactly. So do check out their website probably if you are interested for that. Rakat, is there an opportunity to enroll in a master's degree if I have 11 years of school and 3 years of completed bachelor? So that's 14 years. He understood that in Italy you need 15 years.
No, yeah, it's definitely possible. It's important to have a bachelor degree. So that's the basic requirements to enter master programs. The requirements by law is about the bachelor level. So to enter a bachelor program, you need to have completed 12 years of education. So that might be the confusion. But for master programs, you just need a bachelor degree.
Okay. Hope that answered that question. And we have a next question from Philip. I'm interested in a PhD program in electrical power engineering. Is that possible?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, well, as we were showing on the slide, there are several programs, like 20 programs in at bachelor level, at PhD level, which are all in English, and of course, there is one in electrical engineering as well. So let's say that for the PhD program, of course, you do have the label again, the name of the program, which is electrical engineering, but inside there are a lot of different research areas. So you can browse on the website. I might send you the link in the chat, maybe, so you can actually go directly to the website and know more about that.
Okay, perfect. Whilst you do that, Let's go over to the next question. Alonia is asking, well, thanking us for the opportunity. Well, thank you for joining. And the question is, do you have programs that I can apply with a philosophy bachelor background?
Okay, okay. If you have purely philosophy and no experience in anything, any of the areas we teach, not really. It might be possible for you to, if you have like experience in design or some experience in something related to urban planning, let's say something like that, you might be able to apply and to be considered for this like two programs, like the design in general, or like urban planning and policy design, or some other programs which are more open. But yeah, it's important for you to have at least some experience or in the field, even if not a bachelor degree.
Okay, I hope that answered that. Question from Tamara. So some of the master programs for architecture are listed on some of the master programs as combined learning. Is the question is if the study program is somehow hybrid, or is it only possible as a full-time program on campus?
It's on campus, so it has been online. Like the programs have been online for a while, for during COVID and after that, but now it's on campus. So yeah, you should be here.
Yeah, thank you. Anastasia is wondering if the GPA is important for admission. Can I get in with a low GPA?
Yes, GPA is important. This is one of the most relevant aspects. It really depends on the program you're interested in, because, for example, for architecture and design, if your portfolio stands out, your GPA is not so high, you might still get in. For engineering with low GPA, is really hard to enter. And also be aware of the minimum GPA we set, because there are some countries we require a minimum GPA from. So consider that. It doesn't mean you cannot apply, but it's not so easy to enter because, of course, the competition is there.
Thank you, Chiara. Next question is from Hugo. Hugo is asking, is it possible to be allowed with the Dutch University of Applied Sciences bachelor degree in chemical engineering? I guess to apply, I'm not sure which program.
Yeah, maybe
for engineering.
Engineering. Okay. Yeah, that's a complicated answer. Well, it's possible to enter, but students from applied science, sometimes they have to go. I mean, it depends on what, if it's a Bachelor of Applied Science or a bachelor degree obtained in Applied Science University. So I would ask you to contact us if it's not a problem, so we better understand your situation, where you come from, and everything. And I will post the contacts here, so we try to answer in the best way. Generally speaking, it's not so possible to enter with a bachelor degree in applied sciences directly to a master program. But let's see what's your specific situation.
Okay, thank you. Hope that helped. Well, we're getting the thumbs up, so I guess that does. Good to hear. Alexandros, so I know the admission requires different from one program to another, but what would be considered a good application in terms of background, grade, working experience? Well, you mentioned something about the grades. But,
okay, well, basically, well, consider we are a technical university, so we always, well, we need to consider the what you studied, and that you have the background which is suitable to the program you study. So it's the professors go through the exams you have given, the subjects, and the grades obtained. So this is a selection criteria. So the GPA, the grades you have obtained are very important. And if you're last year or if you have already graduated, you cannot do anything about that much. But you can improve the GPA a little bit, but it's not something you can act on. You definitely can work on your CV, because that's also taken into consideration to make it in the motivation letter. So to make the professors understand what you're good at and why you want to go abroad, how the experience at Politecnico di Milano might help you in pursuing your idea and so on. So this is something you can already work on. And for architecture and design, definitely you need to create a portfolio which is authentic, first of all, because that's a very key factor for us. We need students to know how to create a portfolio, that have been involved for real in the projects they present, and specify and describe the projects in detail. So these are the main things. I might say something which might seem obvious, but make sure your documents are correct, and that you have all the documents which are required. That's also a good sign for who evaluates you, and that you submit them by the deadlines. So this is a very important thing for you, because we don't consider the documents which are submitted after the deadline.
Good, thank you. Question from Anastasia: can I apply for a master in fashion design after a bachelor degree in architecture?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in theory you can. Again, if you have some experience, professional experience, or significant experience in fashion design, it's the other way around is not possible. So in case there is some designers that want to enter architecture, that's not possible, because it's just by law, architecture programs can accept only architects. But for design, the situation is different. The programs accept people with the different backgrounds, but still you should have some let's say, knowledge of fashion design.
Okay, you see on the screen a pop-up over my head, which is to the application portal. So just to make sure, everyone, that you have the link. So that's where you can click on, and at your own pace, have a look at the application process, so to say, how it works. So have a check there. If you had to leave the webinar, then do click on that before and go over that in your own time. We have time for a couple more questions. Lyudmila is asking, let's see, how many places for students on architecture or design are there in English?
How many places? Okay, it depends on the programs, so, and on where you come from. So it's really hard. Generally, it's like about 900, about 1,000 places for design programs. In general, we have one program in English now, which accepts 50 students in interaction design. And architecture, if I'm not wrong, it's about 100 students, the program in English.
Okay.
It's published on the website anyway. I might be wrong in terms of numbers, so sorry if it's not the correct number, but more or less that's the number.
Okay. Francesca is asking, what should be in a portfolio for architecture?
Okay. Okay. There is no specific criteria for students to create their portfolio, so we don't have set like a number of projects or which kind of projects. But the suggestions in general is to make sure you present a few projects, like 5-6 projects maximum, which are clearly presents the path, so how it started and how it ended, let's say, and you describe it, of course, in English. The idea is also that you can add a link to, I don't know, a website or any virtual portfolio you have already, and add more. So if you have all the projects you have been working on somewhere online, you can add that. But the important thing is that you select the best ones and you create a specific portfolio for Politecnico di Milano program and submit it. That's really important for us.
Okay. And let's see. I think that's answered the question portfolio. So Ludmila is a student, has a nationality from Ukraine, but lives in Italy for 10 years. Con il permesso. She enters as a non-European or as a European?
So she's Ukrainian. It depends on she's not European, but she might be considered equivalent if her permit is like, I don't know, for study reasons or like family reunion, like different kinds of stay permit. So you in that case you are considered equivalent student and you can apply as an European student.
Okay. Thank you. Francesca asks, when will the application for the architecture be opened? Also, what can I do if I receive my bachelor degree after the application date?
Okay, for the first questions, I would love to have an answer, but we don't have it yet because again, the dates are dependent on the Ministry of Education Research, and at the moment we don't have that information. So keep tuned. I would say tuned, and so we will publish that on the website as soon as we know. Concerning the diploma, well, you can apply even if you don't have your diploma yet. It's important you get it before you enroll in the program if you're admitted.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, next question. So that I was wondering, for the application for a bachelor degree in architecture, do I need to take an admission exam or is the portfolio enough?
Oh, well, portfolio is not required for bachelor programs. So you need to sit an entrance test and pass it.
Okay. So I think the next questions were answered. GPAs, I think you mentioned as well. I guess there were a couple of people actually asking, can we find the GPA requirements on the university website?
Yes, I will share that directly. Of course, it's on the website. I can definitely just send a link here. So it's the link to all the minimum requirements. I will send it in the chat if it's not a problem. So here it is.
Okay, thank you. Going to the last questions, Anastasia is asking, how is the scholarship paid? Is it once a year or in installments?
In installments, in 2 installments. Yeah. So first, well, if you get the program money awards, it's usually like in November and then in May, usually.
Okay. Good. Let's see. Aliona asks, is volunteering relevant or important as an achievement for admission?
Well, okay, it's not the let's say main criteria for selection. It's definitely something you can add in the CV, and it might be taken into consideration. Well, I honestly don't know which program, and there are some selection criteria which we are aware of, and some others that really depend on the person or the people that evaluate you. So in general, it's not a selection criteria for our professors.
Good, thank you. Good. I think those were the main questions we received. There might be 1 or 2 that were really more personal, so we can still come back to you after the session. But those were the questions I think were relevant for a lot of people. Thank you for that. We actually have also a question for everybody because we're slowly rounding off the session, as we'd like to know how we did. So I'm publishing a poll on the screen over my head right there. So let us know what you thought of this session. If it was, yeah, a 5, which is awesome as we showed, or not, and otherwise any feedback through the chat as well. Thanks for letting us know. Well, we're getting thank yous, I see already, so that's good. And let's see if those were the questions. I think, yeah, all taken care of so far, and we're getting some good grades. So that's good for you, Alessandra and Chiara, as well. And yeah, from my side, I'd like to thank all of you, first of all, the audience, for joining. You join in from a lot of different countries, and thank you for your questions, and hope you got them answered, and this can help you possibly study one of the programs in design, architecture, or engineering at Politecnico di Milano next year. And Alessandra and Chiara, both of you, thank you very much.
Thank
for
you,
your
Luke.
time.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Alessandra, for your words. It's enlightening, I think, for the students to know about students.
I hope so. Thank you.
And thanks to the students. We hope to see you in Milan very, very soon.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.